If you're a Christian man, have you ever had a reoccurring sin that for some reason you just cannot get away from? Well, the Apostle Paul actually felt very similar. In Romans 7:15 through 17, he says, I do not really understand myself, for I want to do what is right, but I don't do it. Instead, I do what I hate. But if I know that what I'm doing is wrong, this shows that I agree that the law is good. So I am not the one doing wrong. It is sin living in me that does it. He understood that it was sin, but he could not just get a hold of it. This just shows that this issue goes all the way back to the days of the Bible. So the good news is that you're not the only one this is happening to. Bad news is, well, you're sinning. Duh. That's why you're here watching this video. But what if I told you the answer to this is also in the Bible? With this video, I actually aim to show you why we actually have these sins in our lives that we keep coming back to and just cannot keep getting away from, even with all the prayer that we might be doing. I have two major pillars that I want to help point out in the Bible for you guys that have majorly helped me, and I want to share both of them with you today. So please make sure to watch to the end, as the second pillar will be extremely important for you to get down. With that being said, let's take a look in the book of John. John 20:23. If you forgive anyone's sins, their sins are forgiven. If you do not forgive them, they are not forgiven. So it seems to stand that if a sin is not forgiven, even including your own, these sins are still retained in this world to you, meaning they have not been released, meaning the sin still has power over you and are bound to repeat it without proper forgiveness on your part. You might beat yourself up all the time regarding the sins that you keep committing, thinking you're never going to get out of this vicious cycle. And if you think that, you're actually right. This comes to the first major pillar. You are keeping this sin in your life simply because you will not forgive yourself for the things that you have done. All we need to do is dive into our past experiences, possible root causes of the things that we have done, and forgive ourselves and others. Now, this will definitely take some meditation with the Lord to seek these experiences that might be in the back recesses of your mind, because honestly, this world can be a dark and godless place in some areas. But the digging up and revealing of these sins is extremely necessary, because if you do not, that can majorly explain why you find yourself like a dog returning to his vomit. Proverbs 26:11. Whether it's laziness where you know what you need to do, but you just cannot put GTA 5 down still. Guys, it's been 10 years. Seriously, how are you guys still playing this game? Seriously though, those examples and applying it to the rest of all the other sins that might be in your life, those can be stopped. You can be different, but you need to forgive the blockers in your life that are causing them. And we do have a strong community in the description that can help you with this, but more on that later. In my life personally, I have had to forgive a lot of things. I've had to forgive close family members, video games for wasting my time, pornography sites for the childhood indoctrination it's given me. Man, I had to even forgive Wingstop. I would obsess over those mango habanero tenders every day of the week. No joke. The forgiveness is not just tied to people in my experience, okay? But you won't be able to have it revealed to you in depth without inviting God in prayer about it, so he can be the lamp to shine the light on the things affecting you. With that being said, now let's move on to the second major pillar. The second major pillar of this problem of you continuing to sin is that you just might be making yourself God over God. This is you over God, okay? Let me explain very simply. Okay, God, has already forgiven you if you have already confessed what you have done, okay? So, if you have that part down, and if the God of our universe has already forgiven you, who has made, I don't know, everything around us outside of space and time, and you are sitting there not thinking you are worthy enough to be forgiven, then you are actually placing yourself in charge of God. So are you going to be disobedient and keeping this sin in your life when God has commanded you to not and be cleansed? Or are you going to align with him and do what he's already done for you? 1 John 1:9 says, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. So, he has already forgiven us scripturally, okay? We are no longer punished for all this nastiness that you've done and I've done as believers, okay? But we, as humans, keep bringing them back in our lives just because we want a proper punishment or something for it. I don't know. We're sadistic like that. He is merciful, guys, and a loving father. Yes, he is a loving father that encourages us to do better, yes, but he is not a shameful God and wants us to live with this sin every day, just beating ourselves up about it. Freedom from these sins await, guys. You can stop thinking about them all the time and being ashamed of yourself. Just forgive. Give it to God to heal and watch him do miracles. If you're having hiccups with this and need some brothers in the faith to help you in your journey become the best man of God you have been destined to be, We have the #1 most active Christian men's community down below in the comments and description that I would love to invite you to and to join. With that being said, let me know what you guys think about this forgiveness concept. What sins come to your mind? What's your experience with forgiveness? And any tips that you can give others about not retaining the sins in our lives. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Bye.